Long ago, so far and wide, prophets walked with God as guide. Faced with trials big and small, still they stood so strong and tall.
Assalamualaikum. You won't believe it. I did so much research on Hazrat Yusuf's life. It's just incredible.
What research? Calm down. Where'd you find all this research?
On the internet, of course.
The internet isn't a great source and it's not always trustworthy. Come with me. I have a better place.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We were just trying to find some information on Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. We were wondering if you would have any good information.
Yeah, actually, I was reading up on Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, and I have something really interesting for you guys. Come, let me show you what I have.
Jazakallah.
Are you guys ready for this one?
Yeah. Oh wow, that looks old. Where is it?
It is old. This is where Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was born 3,600 years ago in Egypt. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was tricked by his brothers at a very young age and thrown into a well. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was then taken in a caravan and sold off to a very wealthy family. Jazakallah.
That makes so much sense now.
I can't wait to continue our learning journey.
It's so fun to learn about new prophets. Come on, let's go to a Murabi and see if he can help us. Assalamualaikum Murabi Sahab.
Walaikum salam. So what brings you guys here?
We're on a learning journey to learn about Hazrat Yusuf and the other prophets.
Very good. So you guys have come to the right place. So it all begins when Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam was very young. And he had a special gift, and that was his living relationship with God Almighty. And he saw in a dream, sun, moon, and 11 stars are bowing down to him. So he told about this dream to his father, who was Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. And right away, Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam knew that this is something very great.
Murabi Sahab, that was cool. After the dream, what happened?
Afterwards, his brothers, they were really jealous of him. And after his brothers threw Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam into the well, after some time, a caravan came. And they stopped near the well, and they took Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam out. And they took Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam with them to Egypt, and they sold him as a slave. And now God Almighty helped him, and God Almighty had a grand plan.
Murabi Sahab, after Egypt, what happened to Hazrat Yusuf?
So after the caravan took Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam to Egypt, they sold him as a slave. And even in that very difficult time, he maintained his relationship with God Almighty.
What an incredible and compelling story. Jazakallah Murabi Sahab.
Jazakumullah, assalamu alaikum.
That was a great story that Murabi Sahab just told us, right, Asad?
Yeah, it was really interesting and amazing.
So what do we have here? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Assalamualaikum Murabi Sahab.
Assalamualaikum
Murabi Sahab.
How are you?
I'm good.
Please have a seat. Inshallah. What brings you guys to the library?
Well, Murabi Sahab, how can we tie Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam's story to our own lives?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, you see, Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, even in his youth, he stayed firm and righteous, and he stayed steadfast through all of the trials. His story could be used in our daily lives now. I'm glad you guys are on this learning journey, and I hope you guys continue to learn more about the prophets. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah Murabi Sahab.
Wow, that experience was actually really good.
I loved hearing the different stories from all the different Murabis.
Yeah, I'm excited to tell all my friends about this.
Same here.
I hope we can learn some more in the
Faith
future
and
too.
love
Yep.
will
It's so much
set
fun to hear
us
different
free.
stories with all the different Yeah. Oh wow, that was old. Where is it?
It is old. This is where Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was born 3,600 years ago in Egypt.
It is old.
Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was tricked by his brothers at a very young age and thrown into a well. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam was then taken in a caravan and sold off to a very wealthy family.
Jazakallah Murabi Saab. It was great learning from you, and it's gonna be even better as we learn more on our learning journey.
Jazakallah.
Jazakallah, that makes so much sense now.
Jazakallah.
I told you it was better to learn with the experts.
And his journey after Egypt.
MashaAllah. Well, you see, after he came to the main city in Egypt, and one day his character and modesty was tempted. And through Allah Ta'ala's help and guidance and his righteousness, he persevered and stayed strong and firm. And he overcame that test.
What was the reason for his imprisonment, Murabi Saab?
Well, that was the second trial that Hazrat Yusuf ﷺ went through. He was imprisoned for something that he did not commit. And Well, you see, even in prison, he continued to preach the message of Allah. And he stayed there for a couple of years and continued to preach the message of Allah. The king heard of his noble character and was very impressed by Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam. So he called him from the imprisonment and gave him a status of nobility, and he became the head of the treasury. Do you guys recall the dream that he had when he was a child?
Stars.
Perfect.
Moon.
Well, you see, in the dream he saw the sun and the moon and the 11 stars bowing to him. This became true when he became the head of the treasury, because his brothers came from Egypt during a famine and they all did not recognize him. But Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, he recognized them. Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam forgave them and helped them through this famine.